Well, I'm going to give you guys a little taste of Ukrainian roads. This is the main road coming into the farm. We are on the awesome street of Partisan Street. So I am Partisan number 4. So we'll drive to the pig farm. See how lovely this drive is. This is there's 2 accesses to this farm. This happens to be the good one. You need a rock crawler to come the other way. You really need a crazy vehicle. I've got a 1998 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive. It's really, you have to have something all-wheel drive or full-wheel drive to drive around, because the roads and infrastructure is just very poor. They don't put any money back into repairing anything, and if I want to have a good road, I'll have to pretty much pay a bribe or just fix it myself with my own equipment, my own money. So it's just part of it. But me and my father-in-law are coming out to the farm today. We're going to do a little bit of maintenance repair work on the main farrowing area. We're gonna start deconstructing some pins and making some more pins, try to get to that magic number of 50. But I'll introduce you guys to the famous Sasha 5050 later on in the day whenever we're doing our work on the farm. Like I said, if anybody has any comments or questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments section. Like I said, this is a new experience for me as well, so I'll hopefully get the hang of this video editing and be able to make some interesting YouTube videos for you guys. The main aspect of the channel is going to focus on the farm, but I do, like I said in the last video, I do want to go all the local stuff. There's a huge amount of World War II history in this region and this country. I'm not, but probably 2 hours from the Moldovan border. I can be in Romania, Poland within 2 or 3 hours. There's just a huge amount of history. A lot of these farms and buildings were occupied by the Germans back in the day. It's, like I said, a crazy history. There's some of the oldest Christian churches are in this region, but we will get to that on another day. But we'll pull on up into the farm, see if my dogs and everything's still here. All right, we're inside the building. Plan of attack today is, this was finishing pins, and we are going to convert them to 2 meter wide, 3.2 meter long farrowing pins. We're going to delete these feed troughs here. We're going to cut in new gates, and we're going to put a divider from here to this back wall, and then make a holding pen for the babies. I will show you what it should look. This is Sasha 5050.
Hello.
This is my father-in-law. He's as good as gold, as good as the guys it gets. But we're going to do this basically. We're going to make this hold it so mamas don't squish the babies. So it'll be like this. We're going to make pins similar to this. Update them, put automatic motors, automatic feeders. All right. Walked through the other day and showed you guys all the stolen pig pens from the past. But the plan is we're going to remove all of these bricks here. They're pretty good quality bricks, and just use them for another project and remove all of these posts. And this is actually, these are 6 foot tall concrete rebar reinforced posts. And the plan is I I have enough posts. I have about 200 between here and the grain storage room that I think we're going to put a barbed wire fence, 6-strand barbed wire fence with concrete posts around the perimeter of the property, just to keep everybody honest. Unfortunately, this isn't my wood. This was the original owners, and he said that that wasn't part of the deal. But we're going to pull up all these bricks, I'm sure there's a few thousand of them, and use them to make another building. And you can see this has this concrete floor. There is a access door on the outside of the building, and later I'll climb up in there and I'll show you guys what it looks like up in there. But the plan is to come in and pour 4 or 5 inches of metal reinforced concrete, slope everything. All the drainage goes out the back of the building, and you can see what's left of the old Soviet. They had a track system. They had a paddle system in all these troughs that hauled all the waste, the manure, out with like rubber flappers out the back of the building. So you could get rid of all your waste, and they load it into a tractor with a wagon and haul it away. But I'm gonna open all these windows back up so we can get some light, because sunlight kills bacteria and it's good for the animals. So we'll see how much I can get done on this trip. If you guys are not familiar with visas and entry to the Ukraine, if you're from America, you can come for 90 days, no problem. Quarantine kind of sucks here right now. All the stores are closed. You can just go to the grocery or bank or whatever, and everything's unlimited hours. But yeah, you can come for 90 days. So I'm just here for a few more weeks, and then I got to go back to America where the real job is. You can hear Sasha is cutting in the gates and cutting down the unneeded posts. But the neighbor, see, there's it's common practice here, if land is vacant, you can just pretty much graze your cows or do whatever you want here. But when we showed up this morning, the neighbor was grazing about, I don't know, 6 or 7 big milk cows on the property, and there's cow manure everywhere inside the facility. So you can see that they've that they've been just grazing them inside this fence. But because it's you can see all the milk cows out there. There's 1, 2, there's half a dozen or dozen or so, and there's some old grandma walking them with a stick. But that's why I want to fence the property off and put my own livestock in it, so I can get the added value of feeding my animals this good grass. So then eventually we'll make our way and work on this building if we have time. But like I said, I'm only here for a few more weeks, and then I gotta leave the keys to Sasha and Yulichka and let them have fun here. So I'm gonna go talk to Barsik real quick. He's extra happy. We brought him a bunch of food and cookies and pieces of steak and chicken, all kinds of leftovers from the refrigerator this morning. He was extra happy to see us. If Ukraine will warm up, it'll be much nicer to work here. It's been staying miserably cold. Barsik. Barsik. Barsik doesn't like when you have anything in his hands. I think the last owners beat him pretty good with sticks or whatever they had, so he doesn't look very happy with me having my GoPro stick. He sees it as something I'm going to beat him with. But he's coming along. He's getting a little bit more friendly every day. Barsik. Barsik. Dog in Ukrainian is Subachka, so he's a Dobre Subachka. Barsik. Come here, come here. Come here. Barsik, Barsik. Come here. Oh, Barsik. Barsik. He's a, they call it a Caucasus, some kind of Caucasus shepherd. But man, they're and there's a littler one over here, but man, they are mean. They I guess they use them to protect herds back in the day from wolves and all this other nonsense, bears. But This is the scale house. I showed this yesterday a little bit, but this old Soviet scale here is, see, it's 1974 dated. I found the date, but they've got this pendulum going down. You can see this is what they used to weigh out the livestock. Just more interesting stuff. I'll walk you the perimeter of the barn. I'll be lazy and let Sasha do the work. I'll talk on YouTube. But they sealed all the doors off. I don't know if it was for winter or just for security purposes, but they sealed all the doors, windows. They blocked everything. Like, I don't know, it's different for me to have a property line is over here. I'll kind of walk the property with you. There's also back in Soviet times, they had every farm or like industrial complex was required to have their own access to water for firefighting. And there's a huge, like, underground, it's concrete brick cistern. But this was another older farm, like 1920s, and they didn't repair anything, and people just came in and stole everything. But it's I mean, it's able to be probably privatized and come in when, you know, use the stones, make a good foundation for some buildings. Maybe I'll be able to privatize it again. But I'm walking on the outside edge of this road is the property line, and it goes pretty far back. But there was it's like a refuse pit. They put their wood and whatever they could burn in this pit here, and they burned it. But we're going to try to get away from those non-environmentally friendly. They're burning plastic and all kinds of stuff. But we'll try to get everything cleaned up and up to date. This is by far the cleanest farm that I was able to find. There's just like asbestos tiles and tires and glass bottles and pretty much just junk piled everywhere on these other farms. And you can see this old grandma, this old babushka, has her milk cows out here, and she's enjoying my green grass. So we will soon end her dreams of free grazing in the next few weeks. Put some of my own animals in here. Yeah, so about a dozen milk cows. But my property line goes about to the backside of where this power pole is, maybe just a little bit further past, and it comes off a square and goes over here. You can see, I don't know if you can see, there's that monastery. We can look and see. Yeah, there's a monastery, and we'll go there one day. But you can see they just been dumping their, this is all just manure and nice Horilka bottle, little vodka bottle for somebody. This is, they've been just dumping their manure in the back of the farm for the last who knows how many years. And here's this big mound here, is this old Soviet firefighter storage cistern. And it's like I don't know, 20 or 30 foot deep. They just put some sticks over the entrance, but it's a pretty good ways down in there. It's a big cavity, big cavern, all bricks. Big, you can see this mound. We'll go look at this interesting electricity setup we have here that's ancient. They're all really sketched out and afraid of electricity here. I watched all these guys come out, and everybody does the tap method to make sure that they're not going to get electrocuted. This thing's ripping, humming pretty good, but everybody will just tap it with their fingers like it's going to really save them. But you can see I've got a 30 kilowatt system here, and the plan is to someday if I can get this up and get everything full capacity, is they use these concrete roof panels, which they're real brittle. I want to put red tin roof on all the buildings, and then I want to tie in and put a solar system on all the buildings. Ukraine's very pro alternative energy. You get a pretty good tax credit back on putting solar on, so I can put like a 200-300 kilowatt system on all these buildings. But you can see they've blocked off all the windows, blocked off all the doors, and they've got all the doors are inside access only. Here's that door I was telling you about that has access to the roof. We'll climb up there later. All right, welcome back. So we did most everything we could today. We're about froze out. There's no heating in this building, and there's no animals in here to give us their ambient heat, but we've cut doors for all these. There'll be a divider that goes here. We've eliminated all the old feed troughs. Pretty much the whole run we've done the same thing. We've pretty much modified them all. They'll all be like a 2-stall farrowing pen. We started to do the big finishing pens also, but it's getting late and we want to start back before it gets dark, because if you break down on the road in Ukraine, there's no AAA to call. So it's nice to be able to do your repairs or whatever you need during the daylight. So I'll show you a little bit more on this side. We got to this third pin here, but we're just going to cut doors, add dividers, pretty much in these. I crawled up in the ceiling earlier and got that lovely surprise of foot-deep Soviet asbestos, so probably I won't go back up in there. I'll delete one of the walls for the bore holding pin. We're going to make this one more farrowing pin, so we'll clean that up later when I bring a wheelbarrow in. But yeah, interesting. But everything should be good. Deleted all the old food pens, all the old brick. We're gonna put automatic hoppers, automatic waters in everything. So that's pretty much, that was it for the rest of the day. See you later.